Y'all come join me for a cup of coffee this morning. I wanted to tell Charlene, she was in the live last night, that I got her confused with the lady that bought a Halloween plaque from me that I mailed to her. She sent me a money order for it, and I had put it in my purse and forgot about it for a month. I just got around to deposit it in the bank last week. But yeah, I got Charlene mixed up with the other lady. Charlene doesn't owe anything. She lives in Canada, and she was the winner of the Halloween plaque this year. So no, she finally got hers, and she doesn't owe anything for hers. That was her prize for winning the Halloween contest. But we're getting ready to make a applesauce cake, old-fashioned applesauce cake. And I've got a stick of butter. I've got a stick of butter that's melting in the microwave. That equals a half a cup, because you need a half a cup of butter for this recipe. You also need a can of applesauce, which I need to open. Oh, there goes my can opener up here. I forgot that I had used it and washed it and didn't get it put away yet. Now this is a cake that you can add walnuts, raisins, anything like that too that you would like. I'm just making a plain applesauce cake today. I'm going to start out by spraying this pan. And you know, a lot of the old timers, and I know my mom always did this, she not only greased her pan, but she floured it. I don't know why they floured it. I guess it just helps. And it doesn't cause the batter to stick. I have no idea. Just pour the excess out in the garbage can down here. Well, it didn't get all out. Just do that. Now, first of all, what we need, and all you need is this. Now, feel free to just use white sugar if you want. But I think this cake tastes a lot better. Instead of putting a whole cup of white sugar, I put half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of white sugar. So I'm just gonna, I don't like trying to dump or pour out brown sugar. It just never seems to work out. So I'm just going to put it over like this. Well, that's not going to work either, I guess. But I think the brown sugar just adds to the flavor of the applesauce cake. See if I can find a tie wrap to tie this up, because it was a new bag of sugar. That way it don't spill on the counter. So there, I got my half a cup of brown sugar. I'm going to put a half a cup of white sugar. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what it is with my phone today. On a Saturday morning, your phone is ringing. And I know it's nothing but sales calls. Okay, now we're going to have our flour. Yeah, our flour. We need 2 cups of flour. There's 1. And there's 2. My oven is preheating to 350 degrees. Now I'm going to put in a teaspoon of baking powder. We've got ground cinnamon. I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. We're going to put in some ground cloves, about a 3/4 of a teaspoon. We're going to put in about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Well, I'm going to mix this up first. I want to get all these dry ingredients thoroughly combined before I add anything else. It calls for one cup of applesauce. That's pretty much 1 can. I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now you can add like a half a cup of chopped walnuts. You can add a half a cup of raisins. I'm not adding any of that to mine this morning. I just want mine the plain applesauce. And we got to get our butter. If you put your butter in the microwave, your stick of butter, on about 2 or 3 minutes on defrost setting, it'll melt your butter without spattering it or popping it all over your stove. And we're just going to stir all that up. You'll notice we're not putting the egg in there. And if it's too dry, you can add just that little bit of applesauce that's left in your... And I think I'll do that because there's just a tiny bit in there. I think this is the only cake that I've ever baked that you didn't put at least 1 egg in. All you do is combine it, and then you can put in your walnuts, your raisins, whatever type of nuts you want to put in there, pecans, and then just put it right in your baking dish. If I can do that, because it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy on my arms. So we'll do it this way to begin with to get some of that heaviness out of there. Oh, it smells wonderful, y'all. This would probably make a great Depression era cake. Not using eggs in it, because you know, everything was kind of scarce back during that era. I don't know if this one pan is going to hold all this. Oh my goodness. It said 1 8-inch pan. Most of the time I put mine in my bundt pan. And then we're going to put it in the oven and bake it for about 40 minutes on 350 degrees. Also, while I'm doing that, I bought 2 sweet potatoes the other day, and I decided I was going to cook them. And I said, what better time to cook my potatoes than when I had my cake in there cooking. Because these potatoes have to cook for about an hour, so I'm going to have my oven on for almost an hour. I love good sweet potatoes, y'all. I'm going to come over here and set my timer to about 40 minutes. And I'm going to finish my cup of coffee and wait for my cake to bake, and we'll come back. Well, y'all, the timer went off. I just took the cake out of the oven. I'm going to do the toothpick test. Toothpick test, that is. And it seems to be done. Oh, it smells so good. We'll put it over here to cool a little bit. Still just a little bit too hot. And I think next time I make it, I'm going to put it in an oblong pan. I was afraid the pan that I had was too big. I've got an oblong and I got a square pan, but they're a lot bigger than this one. And you could cut it a lot better, I guess, if it was in an oblong or a square pan rather than a round. But I mean, this will work. If all you got is a round pan, then, you know, go for it. It smells wonderful, y'all. But I'm going to let it sit there and cool off just a tiny bit before I try to get it out of the pan. Or I may not even take it out of the pan. I may just icing it right in the pan, I think. Let's see. Now, you can definitely make cream cheese icing if you want. But I've got a little bit of this icing left over from my Halloween cookies. So I'm going to use some of that. And it's cold because it's been in the refrigerator. But this cake is hot. And it'll kind of soften it up pretty quick. I don't want a lot on it because I don't want it real sweet. But I will coat the top just a tiny bit with icing. Cream cheese icing would be so much better, but back in the day, they may not have had cream cheese to spare to put on their cakes, you know? Just depends on what they had. You could put a sugar glaze if that's what you wanted. Be perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm probably just going to leave it in this pan and just cut it like I would if it was in a square pan and eat it that way. But see, the icing is melting, and that's what I want it to do. I want it to act almost like a glaze because I don't want it real sweet. And you don't even have to put a glaze on it at all. No kind of icing at all. But y'all know, icing is sweet. It goes a long way. So I'm not putting much at all on here. And this carrot cake freezes great. You may not want to put icing on it until you take it out and thaw it up and get ready to serve it. But it does freeze really good. I should have taken that icing out of the refrigerator and let it get to room temperature, but I didn't. It's still gonna be good. Now you can put as much icing on yours as you want, or not put any at all on it. Totally up to you. Got icing on my finger. This is a great, like, breakfast cake. It's a little hot. That is not the best thing in the world. To do that with. And I haven't let it cool yet, so I may be making a mistake by trying to get it out of the pan before it cools. I lost part of my cake, y'all. Yeah, it might be better if you let it cool. But they say it's better if you serve it hot. So we're going to try it. Dear Lord, bless this food I'm about to eat. Bless all the YouTubers out there watching. Bless all my friends and family. Bless the fur babies and bless this cake I'm about to eat. Amen. You know, I should have let it cool a little bit more, but I didn't because I was in a hurry for the video. Oh my God, that is so good. But yeah, let it cool a little bit more so it doesn't fall apart quite as much as mine did. Y'all take a bite. And that little bit of icing is just right. It's not too sweet. It just gives it a little bit of added flavor. That is really good. It would have been better with nuts and raisins. But hey, the way it is right now, there's nothing wrong with it. That is some good cake right there. It almost reminds me of carrot cake. Let's see if we can get this up. That is some good cake right there, y'all. And see, mine crumbled because I didn't let it cool off enough. Take a bite. Don't it look like carrot cake? That is so good. Yeah, let it cool off a little bit more than I did so it doesn't come apart. But that is good cake right there. Great for breakfast or any time of the day you want a dessert. So try the old-fashioned carrot cake, y'all. I mean, not carrot cake, applesauce cake. Oh my goodness. It tastes so much like carrot cake, I'm calling it carrot cake, but it's applesauce cake. Old-fashioned applesauce cake.